Today's tube is full to bursting.
We can't physically cope with the amount of people that we carry.
Madam, come to me.
That's it, come on, home sweet home.
And the underground staff are flat out,
Go home.
dealing with us.
A 10-pint of lager day.
I just seen the person squatting and like...
For the 20,000 people who keep the tube running,
International rescue.
every day brings new challenges.
We are a mobile Swiss Army knife.
Excuse me, sir. Ticket inspector. Yeah, but it's not a free service on the underground, is it?
That could bring the tube to a halt.
Chaos.
Everything running smoothly has now gone the opposite route. See, just like that.
Until I get a shout, I'm going to stand here and just look pretty in front of my public. Just open the gate.
Chaotic as always.
So this year, it's all change on the world's oldest underground.
This could be the future. This could be the revolution. Join the revolution, everybody.
But for the tube's long-suffering workers, it's more than a job.
It feels like home, just like family. Sometimes we love each other, sometimes we don't.
This way out. This way.
I'm a parent, and they're my children.
Mate.
This is their story.
We cope, because that's what we do. We cope.
This time on the tube. A week from hell on the underground.
Epileptic fit, Swiss Cottage northbound.
The tube is tested to the limit by its own tricky customers.
I mean, London is just full of lunatics.
Every incident where a customer's at fault is stupidity.
How much time and money do they want us to spend to come and find out how the system works?
And staff come to the rescue
Always right at the end, aren't they?
of us.
A superhero's job is never ended.
It's early on Monday morning, the start of another working week for the tube.
Mind the closing doors.
The Monday to Friday grind is now busier than ever.
Keep moving down the platform, please. Keep moving down the platform.
Over the next 5 days, over 20 million passengers will use the underground. But as the tube gets busier, passengers are getting harder to deal with.
My card is being played up.
Buy another Oyster card, and when you speak to them, tell them what...
I don't want to buy a new one.
Well, you won't be able to travel with that one, sir. So if you want to discuss it, go and discuss it with my supervisor's in the control room.
Where is he?
I'm pointing to him in the control room
I
over
can't
there.
see. Oh, well, that's great. Thanks for your help. Very helpful.
Bye, sir.
Tube staff are facing ever-growing numbers of complaints. It's only 10 a.m. and already 800 passengers have called into Transport for London's customer service centre to complain about their journeys this morning.
Good morning, thank you for your patience. You're through to Tunde, how can I help you?
Customer service agent Tunde has been fielding calls since 6 a.m.
When I got to Tottenham, first I couldn't get in the station. I then got on the tube, it terminated at Seven Sisters.
Yeah.
I then had to get a bus, a number 41 bus up to Turnpike Lane, then into King's Cross, then up to Euston to finally get to Warren Street, by which time, of course, I was, take me 2 hours, 20 minutes. I wondered if...
My gosh, people complain quite a lot. You learn how to grow thick skin. At first, because, you know, I grew up in Tottenham, there's only so much you can say to me before, you know, the hood starts coming out of me.
I'm calling you because I cannot find any other number, having tried for 25 minutes. I might even miss the train, and then, of course, I have to pay all over again.
So you get, this train came 2 minutes late, which made me miss this connection, and so I'm late to work, blah, blah, blah.
When I got to Seven Sisters, we were told that Victoria Line has been suspended.
Yeah, it's got severe delays.
Yes, I was stranded, you know. I paid 60 pounds for it.
I think they feel that they can literally call us to have a moan, and they can shout at us, and they can, you know, I honestly feel that. But I do like my job. I do like speaking to the public. Sometimes I hold back just to let them have their rant, and then just, you know, say yes, yes.
On the Piccadilly line, driver Jo's starting her 7-hour shift.
Oh, it's lovely. Perfect driving weather.
She came here from Dublin 18 years ago and has seen just how tricky customers can be.
The majority of people use the underground. So you get to see the good and the bad side of London. I mean, London is just full of lunatics. I had some people smoking illegal things in the back of my train, and luckily they were just behind me, so I just opened my door and said, look, off the train if you're going to be doing these type of things. And they got off the train. And I've had somebody taking a dump on a platform. I didn't actually say coming out. I just seen the person squatting and like... I know, it was pretty obvious they weren't going to number one, if you know what I mean.
Bank Station, in the heart of the city, sees more demanding customers than most. But customer service assistants Eamon and Ian have spent 25 years honing a foolproof method for dealing with passenger problems.
Come here, right, you go down here, along the curly-whirly, A lot of the customers get lost going to the Northern Line, so down the spiral stairs, the curly-whirly, along the yellow brick road, you know the Wizard of Oz? And then through the tribulation.
They're always on their guard for small problems that could lead to big delays.
Hello, are you lost? Are you lost? There's no need to be sorry.
No,
Love means never having to say you're sorry. Yeah.
I just dropped my Oyster.
And it's on the track?
Yeah.
Which platform?
A customer's dropped her Oyster card on the Central Line track downstairs.
Right, do you want to show me where it is? Is it here? Is it here, is it?
All right, cheers then. Yeah, SCP to, SS Luke, are you receiving, over?
In the station control room, Paul sees customers drop their belongings onto the track dozens of times a week.
Normal thing, shoes go all the time. Women, as I say, running for a train and the old slingback comes off and goes down the side. Darren, you don't wear slingbacks, do you? No, it wouldn't be Darren. But yeah, that's the norm, let's put it that way.
To rescue one Oyster card, Eamon will now have to bring the whole line to a halt, delaying thousands of passengers.
No. We can't just go down. I'll call the supervisor, yeah? Yeah, with a lady on platform 5, she's dropped her Oyster card on the track.
On a nearby platform at Bank, Supervisor Lucy's been told another customer's dropped his phone on the track.
It's going to be one of these days.
Luckily, she's been issued a special tool for the job.
I was in front of the line to get on the train, and when there was a guy behind me, my telephone in my hand like this, and when he pushed me, my telephone dropped under the train.
But to pick up one dropped phone, Lucy has to stop all the trains on the Northern Line, which again could delay thousands of passengers.
Let's go up and speak to the controller and see if they give me permission just to do it, because they'll have to bring a train in and stop it short.
Why can't you just get it right down? You can't do that?
We're not allowed to do that.
If I would have known that, I might have reached down there and picked it up myself.
OK, that's fine, but that to be confirmed.
In the Tube Control Centre, Supervisor John has seen how one small slip-up can paralyse whole lines.
Once a train is sitting down for more than 2 minutes, you know, that immediately gets flagged up to the control centres, and there's an immediate response to that. So there's a huge team of people around trying to stay ahead of things, but then being able to respond quickly when we do have stuff, you know.
At Bank, they've been allowed to stop the next train.
Please stand well back from the yellow line while this operation is in process, allowing customers to actually stand at the front and be looking over. We don't want any other things dropping on the track.
Until the team have completed the procedure, passengers will have to wait.
Will you be able to move your bag for me? Thank you.
With the train stopped, the driver has to hand over his keys to make sure his train can't go anywhere.
Give the keys. Give the keys. One phone.
Finally, have a good night.
All right, you're welcome. Take care. Another happy customer.
On the Central Line at Bank, it should be a simple job for Eamon to stop this train.
I think he's slowing down. I can tell by the noise. I'll just take your key. So oh, you've got... Driver's just dropped his keys on the track. Must be Christmas. stand here, Martin. Well done, Governor.
I feel like a young man now.
Get Sir Galahad to the rescue, you know?
Tube staff never know what problems passengers will cause next. So now a network incident response team has been set up to blue light to emergencies, day or night.
A simple way, I think, to describe it, we are a mobile Swiss Army knife. International rescue.
It's Tuesday, and Mark and Richie are just starting their shift.
What do you want for that? I don't know. Bacon roll or something? Greg's?
Yeah, you could try Greg's.
There are 7 of us. We deal with acts of terrorism, flooding. We deal with people that jump in front of trains. Any amount of incidents that can occur anywhere will occur on London Underground.
Yeah, hi Cam. We've already got that. We've self-dispatched. Been called to Cannon Street. We've been advised that there's an elderly gentleman. He's fallen backwards and has got some cuts and damages to the back of his head and is currently unconscious.
Coming up, the casualty at Cannon Street threatens rush hour.
Hold on there a minute, love. Sorry.
Hi, my lovely.
There are walking wounded at Oxford Circus, and the Northern Line is brought to a standstill.
Step aside, please. Step aside.
Every week, the response team see 20 medical emergencies on the tube. For Richie, the casualty numbers are mounting up.
Let me get this out the way, and then that's it.
The team have been called to a passenger who's collapsed at Cannon Street.
Yeah, Cam, just a little update there from Cannon Street. He is conscious, he is now alert, so obviously there'll be a time that we should be able to move him.
All right, keep me updated, thank you.
In the tube's control room, Cam fears this one casualty could bring a whole line to a halt.
We have to deal with the incident itself, but also have a more focused overview on the impact and the knock-on effects that this incident could have.
Across the network, the evening rush is building up. At Cannon Street, 5 trains are due to arrive in the next 10 minutes.
Can you do me a favour? Yeah. Can you whiz down the bottom of the stairs? Yeah. All right, and just let me know when there's people coming off a train.
Until it's safe to move him, the passenger is blocking the only passageway between platforms.
If we don't have the incident resolved, we may come to a situation where we're looking at non-stopping.
Trains not stopping is the last thing that Richie wants.
I don't want to shut the station down, so you need to get home, don't you? That's all right.
So his job has now changed from response manager
Could you hold on there a minute, love? Sorry. We'll let you down
to traffic cop.
Thank you for this. Hold on there a minute, please. Thank you. Yeah, just hold that a minute. Let these guys... Come on, guys. You don't want to stop people going home and missing their trains. And certainly I don't want to shut the station down, because if I do that, they're going to miss their trains anyway. OK, off you come. Thanks for your patience. Lovely. Ta.
Finally, the patient is well enough to be moved and heads to hospital with a large bump on the head.
Lovely. Brilliant. Excellent. Right now.
But Richie and Mark have to head off to another emergency.
There is no rest, not for us, not this team.
The middle of the week sees passenger numbers peak on the tube. To cope with the record demand, the tube now tries to run a train every 2 minutes.
You get programmed into every minute matters, every second matters. I don't know, it's like a London mentality. Like you kind of learn it when you're in London. You're trying to stuff so much into your day that everything is literally to the minute, you know, and then when you have to wait 3 minutes for a train, like every minute counts because you've just got so much stuff to do.
During the week, Oxford Circus is the busiest station on the tube. Staff here are expecting almost 100,000 people to pass through the gate line this evening.
Tap it on there for me.
Tonight, Laura is one of 30 customer service assistants facing the hordes.
I sort of like turned into some East End old woman when I started this job. It's like the lovely Madonna. I don't talk like this at home. Well, I talk like this at home, but I don't talk like, I'm a laughing. I don't know where it comes from. This Cockney thing comes out in me.
She never knows what surprise the travelling public will spring next.
Oh, gosh, thank you, my darling, thank you. Hi, my lovely, are you OK? I'm going to get you a chair, let's get you over here.
This customer's tripped on the stairs while entering the station.
I'm sleeping. On where? Here? In the station? Yeah. Do you mind if I take your shoe off? Well, it's not your ankle, because you're moving your ankle fine. I think she's been quite lucky. You probably don't feel lucky at the moment.
With no obvious injury and the customer in distress, Laura offers to call her husband.
What's his name?
Johnny does.
Sorry?
J-O-N-I.
J-O-N-I.
D-A-S.
Johnny does. Johnny does. Johnny does. Hello, is Johnny Does still on duty? He's still at work. Must be doing overtime.
No exit that side, please. No exit there. You want to leave your evening bar outside.
With Laura occupied and the station getting busier, it's left to customer service assistant Jerry to battle the crowds.
In the peak, there is usually a train coming through once every minute. That's one train a minute, 600 people a go, coming in and getting off. When it gets so that people can only move along in single file, we think, well, that's it, you know. We're not going to wait until somebody falls over.
But the platforms are already reaching capacity.
Yeah. Oh, no.
So Jerry is forced to close the station.
Excuse me, folks. Station's closing. Station's closing. Sorry, folks. Station's closing now.
Seriously, that's health and safety.
I'm sorry? No, we don't do this for fun. It's health and safety every time.
Soon, hundreds of passengers are queuing up outside.
I dread it sometimes just because of this. I mean, it's starting to queue all the way down the road, all the way to Topshop now. This is a bit ridiculous.
I travel through here every day, twice a day, morning and evening. Going in the evening is a nightmare.
There was a protest a few years back about the way that Veal are transported, and it's no better on London Underground at rush hour. It's just completely inhumane. I mean, it's just crazy. It's nuts.
Despite the madness outside,
There you go, my love.
Laura's still tending to her patient.
Most of my shift now has been taken up caring for the young lady out in the supervisor's office, which therefore means there's one less body in the main ticket hall, on the platforms, up on the exits. And that does have a big impact on my colleagues, because they're out here having to take the weight and all the stress of the shift of today, minus one person.
Usually, in a situation like this, get a few trains through, suck some of those people off of that platform so it's less crowded and it's safe to move about, and then we're going to let people in again.
A full 20 minutes later, and with the station finally empty, it's safe to reopen. There's also good news for Laura.
Your husband's here. I think she might need to have it checked out. What I thought is if we could get her sock on.
She said she can't walk, then what can I do?
She can't walk.
No, she said she can't walk.
You can't walk.
I mean, you guys, can you help me some way? Do you think you can make a call for a taxi?
It might just be a case of hailing one, you know, once you get out. You get some people that are really, really ill and in a lot of pain who need urgent medical attention. And then you do get people, the walking wounded, who can take themselves off to hospital.
Now the customers left the station, Laura can rejoin her team on the gate line.
You need to put some more money on your one.
I do?
Yeah.
Hey, where?
The machine's behind you, my lovely.
It's now halfway through the working week. At the customer service centre, Tunde has already taken hundreds of calls. Not all of them complaints.
You get a lot of random calls out. So can you tell me how Jupiter is still up in space? How is it actually hanging there? I can't tell you that. I work for Transport for London. I don't work for space. You know what I'm saying? So
basically, I fell asleep on the train, fell asleep, went up in Brighton,
So wait. You were on the train from Cannon Street and you ended up where? Did you say Brighton?
The biggest number of calls are from customers hoping to be reunited with treasured possessions they've left on the tube.
Morning, Fanny. I hold the Rickmansworth station. I left a pair of gloves there and just arranged to pick them up if they've been found.
Which station?
Rickmansworth.
Rickmansworth. Okay, bear with me.
Yeah, I would have left them on the bicycle rack.
Let me have a chat with you. I'm going to put you on hold for a moment.
All forgotten items end up here at the tube's lost property office on Baker Street. Anyone wanting them back must start with Glory, the queen of the front desk.
It was a triangular black case labelled Lindbergh. I've lost my glasses at a tube station.
Oh, no.
It was outside the ticket office itself. I was hunting, so it would be at the station somewhere.
Hopefully. Just fingers crossed.
Beneath Glory's feet lies an Aladdin's cave of lost property. A small army of 50 people carefully catalogue and store the weird and wonderful belongings left behind by the public. Bob runs the warehouse.
People just don't realise how many items we get. 28,000. Almost 29,000 bags. That's since April. It's crazy. It really is. We've had everything here. Coffins, guns, knives, everything. Naughty toys. And also walking sticks and false legs, and you know you've lost them because you'd fall over, obviously.
Whatever they might be, Bob has to keep them for 3 months.
Can't throw nothing, which is crazy. I mean, we've had empty matchboxes and things like that, and 2p, and no one's going to pay £4 to get 2p back.
But they don't have everything.
So nothing has come in at the moment, but I'll just put the inquiry in case somebody's handed it in, yeah? Okay, all right.
It's Wednesday afternoon. Normally, this is the quietest time of the week for tube staff, when they have a chance to draw breath. But a crisis can come at any time.
Police investigating reports that a man was pushed from a platform onto a train deliberately. It happened at 11:45.
There's been an incident at Kentish Town, which has brought the Northern Line to a halt. Rupert from the Network Incident Response Team was one of the first on the scene.
This is an unusual incident in that there was a suspicion that that gentleman was pushed in front of a train. They have significant trauma injuries, but they are still alive.
Step aside, please. Step aside.
The victim was trapped under the train for 15 minutes. It was down to Jamie from the Emergency Response Unit to get him out.
We went under. Obviously, it's a confined space. It's quite dirty, and you've got a seriously injured person. So, paramedic stabilised the casualty as best she could, and then it was a combined effort to get him out as quickly as possible.
I think the last incident of this nature we had was about 3 years ago. So, it's quite an unusual day for us.
The police are now treating the station as a crime scene and have sealed it off.
The station's going to be closed for another couple of hours now because the police are still conducting their own investigations, and obviously that's also impacted the Northern Line today hugely. It's a bit like if you imagine a traffic jam on a major motorway. If you have a major traffic jam for 2.5 hours, the impact will be great all the way along.
Even during the most serious events, frontline staff are still besieged by tricky customers.
I'm walking this way because I've got a high bonnet. I wouldn't be walking this way, we've got an edge, would I? Good hell, man. That's what I want to get essentially. Yeah. As quick as possible. 134. Good hell, man. I missed an appointment because of this.
Displays anger. You are angry, but you are angry at the wrong person, yeah?
In any major incident, the Tube adopt the Emergency Services Command System and set up their own gold, silver and bronze control.
Just put him off, literally.
Area Manager Warren has been made bronze control, and it's up to him to get the station up and running as fast as he can.
What we now
approaching 4 hours into it. Priority number one is to reopen the station so we can get the customs moving again, which obviously is important.
But the overground is still open.
No, I'll get the bus to come.
After 5 hours, the police investigations have finally finished.
We've had a lot of people on site from emergency services and so forth, just to double check that no one's forgotten anything, left anything behind. I think I bought them that.
Hey, station supervisor, small staff, we are now ready to open. We are now ready to open, over.
We're all back up and running. Kentish Town is open for our customers again, which is what we're here for, so back to normal, thankfully. We're open. Come on in. You're welcome. We had an incident on the track, so unfortunately we had to close for a while. Yeah. Hope you haven't been delayed too much.
I just got here, literally.
Fantastic.
Coming up, Thursday's the new Friday at Bank Station. And where there's blame, there could be a claim.
I'll get itchy fingers because if I can find the incident, it's like, yes.
It's Thursday morning. 15 million passengers have travelled on the tube so far this week.
Mind the doors, please. Mind the doors.
Most are in such a rush that they won't let anything get in their way.
Give it a yank. If not, leave it till the next station. Just leave it, it's fine. Yes, a bit manic down this end. People are in a hurry. Keep moving down, guys. Keep moving down, thank you. Move down. Sometimes it does fall on deaf ears, though.
But some passengers suffering even minor mishaps on the tube will now threaten legal action.
We're in a bit of a culture of where there's blame, there's a claim. London Underground is a pretty big company, so it can be a pretty big target.
Duty reliability managers like Ricky Smith investigate almost 15,000 complaints a year, any of which could become a lawsuit against the tube.
It's important in my role that I protect London Underground wherever I can. It's not so much catching people out, it's more what are they doing? Why are they doing it? How can we stop it happening again? And that's great, I like that sort of thing. And at the end of it, if I can find that somebody has been a bit devious, I like that. Thanks, John. Cheers, bye. So I just had a call from the controller, and basically the terminal said that there's been a platform train incident between a female customer and the train.
The customer has complained that she was trapped by train doors at Green Park. Ricky heads to the station.
There's so many stations, so many lines, so many customers. Nearly every incident of where a customer's at fault is stupidity. Are they doing it on purpose? No. But human nature says that there are a percentage of the population that's stupid.
Ricky needs to look at the CCTV to find out what's happened.
That's all right. How you doing? I've got to come down and review some CCTV. Any chance I can have the key for the playback suite, please? So we have a description that she's an 80-year-old black lady wearing traditional African outfit. So this is exciting because now I get to see what's happening. So this is where I get itchy fingers because if I can find the incident, it's like, yes. And I like getting involved in it, so I'm already excited and my trigger finger's ready to go to play it forward.
Do you think you would have been a good police officer?
Yeah, I would have been. But would I have been a good beat officer? Probably not, because I'd have probably want to have been out there dealing with serious crimes, but I'd love to be a special and give a little bit back, but my wife won't let me. And the lady in question now appears, there we go. So this customer's not even on the train yet. This is the customer that's involved. You'll see that the doors are closing. She's trapped in the doors, and you can see just there, she's got part of her clothing hanging out the doors. If the customer's got injured, it's her own fault. And I know she's 80, allegedly around about 80. I do have sympathy that she's hurt herself, but I don't have no sympathy that she's actually trying to board the train when clearly the doors are closing, you know, and if the customer does write in, we can reply saying, look, we've reviewed the CCTV, the train doors were closing and you've ignored it. And customers do know that there are trains every 2 to 3 minutes. There's no reason why they should be rushing and trying to force themselves onto trains. It's just balmy. You see women with children throw their children on first, the doors close and the kids departing without them. And they think, well, why's that happened? Well, come on. Get on the platform, wait, stand safely, then get on with it. If I don't review this and I don't do this properly, we have to put our hands up and go, OK, how much do you want?
This time, Ricky decides that London Underground were not at fault. It's Thursday evening, and across London, it's the new party night. At Bank, Eamon and Ian are on the late shift.
We get a lot of the city people out on a Thursday night, and they tend to have a bit too much liquid refreshment. I must admit, Thursday evening is my favourite evening of the week. So you never know what's going to happen. Are you right, Governor? Hello? Hello? I think he's had a bit too much Diet Coke, don't you think?
I just went down to the Waterloo City by accident.
By accident?
On my...
What kind of accident was it?
Well, you know, it buzzed through on my car.
You buzzed in, right. Stand back a bit, yeah? Just back a bit more. And a bit more, bit more. That's fine, yeah, that's fine. Down there, so yeah. What's your badge?
I want two.
What's that for then? For our most laid back dresser. What's that one?
I can't remember now.
Most likely to fall asleep in a meeting. Yeah, I often wonder with some of the people how they cope on Friday after a heavy night on Thursday. It can't be easy. You're right, Governor. Right. Tickets sometimes are optional.
But not everyone's having such a good time.
Received. Okay. Yeah, just got a report of someone unable to stand on an organ. Florrie. I'll come down, yeah. Which northern platform, please, Sabre?
Contact is via the help point, which has just gone past. We believe he was in the cross passages.
Right, and yet what you think towards the rear of the platform, is that correct, David? Maybe a person just jumped on a train, I think, probably.
The passenger is nowhere to be seen, but has left their calling card.
Yeah, I think we'll need a cleaner down there as well. I saw some vomit about halfway down platform 3 over. I think that's a quiet night. We've only seen 2 piles of vomit so far, so there we go.
But by 8 p.m, things are getting worse at Bank.
Probably will be an update.
Richie and Mark have been called to the station.
OK, so we got Bank, and keep going. What was the other thing? Travelator number 1, female, unconscious. Lovely, thank you.
A woman has collapsed on the Travelator to the Waterloo and City line.
What's your ETA, Richie? We're here now, just about to go downstairs. Lovely, perfect. Thank you, cheers. Bye.
Trevor, Richie's on site.
If we look at incidents on a Thursday, Friday and Saturday, a large proportion of those incidents are alcohol-related.
Supervisor Lucy is one of the first to the scene.
So I did smell the drink. I think we've established she's had a couple of drinks. Trying to get information out of her was a little bit tough.
The lady has taken a fall. Trains, stations, travelators and alcohol don't mix very well.
While Mark's dealing with the passenger, Richie needs to keep the customers flowing.
Exit by the stairs, please. Thank you. Exit by the stairs, please, folks. Sorry. Everybody's looking at me. Their expectations, I do something, but it's not just, you just can't go and grab people. If I just decide to move because somebody's upset about it, you know, what does that mean for that person who's intoxicated? You know, am I going to damage them further? The fact of the matter is we're human beings. People go out, they enjoy themselves. You know, they have a laugh, they get caught up in the moment. You know, are we to persecute them and say you're being really annoying to us by the fact that you've gone out and enjoyed yourself and you shut our station down? You know, yeah, I should be annoyed, I should be upset. But, you know, I go out, I get married, I drink, you know. People don't persecute me. The lady is being put into the care of the London Ambulance Service. I can go and cover the rest of the Underground. But maybe I might just be able to get a quick cup of tea. A quick cup of tea. Yeah, a superhero's job is never ending.
It's Friday morning, and after every drunken night out, it's the lost property team who face the fallout.
Here to collect your funds.
Excellent. I lost it on a night out. Okay. Yeah. Don't ask me how, I can't remember.
It's only a little black bag, a rucksack. I think I had a few too many beers and I sort of left it on top of the train, yeah.
No, we do get people coming out of clubs drunk, and that they'll be getting trains and leaving loads of items on there.
For all claims, it's Bob's job to retrieve them.
Some of them get irate and start shouting at you and things like that, and where is it, I want it here. They don't realise how much stuff we've got. And they think it's just like, we've got 3 pens, 1 pair of glasses, 6 telephones and a bag. And if they started shouting at me, I'd have to start, you know, shouting back, basically. Telling them you shouldn't be such a pillock and lost it in the first place. That's why I'm down here, I suppose. 454-731. Been here 32 years. In the deep, dark recesses, we don't even get daylight down here at all. I'm getting on a bit. I don't fancy going on the rock and roll. Or on the hero. I'm one of the honest people. I work for a living. I don't get everything for nothing. It's a wallet. Some happy customer gets his money back and his bits and bobs.
But not all items are reunited with their owners, leaving a lot of unsatisfied customers.
Did you make an inquiry?
I did. I called many times and I filled a form.
You did?
Mrs. Sheikh has come to check on an item she lost 6 months ago. But not even Glory can crack this one.
You've not come up because if you had made an inquiry, the inquiry would be still on our system because that will stay for a year. So that means that inquiry didn't come through to us.
Nobody had said that.
Nobody has ever said that to you.
More is that they didn't say that you only hold
property for 3 months. Yeah.
That is irresponsible.
What's your postcode?
Okay.
Thank you.
No worries.
How much time and money do they want us to spend to come and find out how this system works?
I think she didn't want to take responsibility for the fact that she delayed herself to come and collect the property. You get that sometimes where people are regretfully now trying to pass the blame.
It's Friday evening. As commuters file home after another busy week, Richie and Mark are at the beginning of their shift. But the night's already off to a bad start.
Van's out of service.
What's wrong with it?
Got a blown headlight, look. Yeah, we normally just phone up the AA.
My light's brighter than your light. Is that better or not? Or doesn't it really matter? It doesn't really matter, does it?
Show off with your bright light.
You know what I mean? I'll take my veg, my apple and my yoghurt in. This is what happens, isn't it?
We'll have to get potentially another vehicle.
She's broken down. Oh, dear. I wouldn't call myself a superhero. I don't mind helping people out. I don't mind getting involved. Even at school, I'd always have my hand up to get involved with it. Maybe I'm an attention seeker. Perhaps that's what it is. There is a sense of achievement in helping these people out, the people that come to misfortune.
Within 30 minutes, Richie's back on the road to another emergency.
Epileptic fit, northbound.
There's a person in distress on the Jubilee line.
The train has stopped. It means that it can't move forward because the train with the injured party on is preventing that from happening. We could be looking at 2,000 people that are currently now, you know, in a tunnel, on a train, not moving.
Coming up, Richie reaches the end of his tether.
There's nothing to watch here, guys. If it was you, it might be the other way round, mightn't it?
And Damon and Ian get more than they bargained for. It's Friday evening, and after a long week dealing with unpredictable passengers,
Excuse me, please.
Richie's been called to a man having an epileptic fit on the Jubilee line.
Where is this person? And all the incidents we deal with are going to affect people. And some of these people, you know, they might very well be in distress. You know, they might not be able to help themselves. Sorry about this, ladies and gents. I think we all have Surely all of us have a duty to help others when they're not, when they're in distress.
The passenger's dazed, but Richie needs to get him off the train as quickly as possible.
Just here, isn't it? That's the way. Lovely. We've managed to get him off the train, but the only trouble is he's quite unresponsive, coming out of a seizure. So we got the LAS turning up. He'll more than likely be physically moved because he can't stay here.
Little scratch, get some blood, all right? I know. I've got to take some blood off you, buddy.
I might get some tarpaulins out in a minute. I don't like people just staring. There's nothing to watch here, guys, really, seriously. Let the guy just, I know, but you don't have to stare, do you? Come on, let's be fair. If it was you, it might be the other way round, mightn't it? There's two things I'm going to be open and honest with you that I don't like. One of those is people that put their feet on seats. I'll be honest with you, I hate it. People that put their feet on seats and people who stand there and they stare. And I think to myself, if you were in that position, I'm sure you wouldn't really like people to stand and stare and watch you. But what can I do? It's, we're here, we're in the confines of the general public. We just have to deep breath and, we'll try and get this gentleman sorted out. Right then, fella, we're going to go for a little walk. Help you out a bit, yeah? Poor chap was in a position that he had no control over. I think, naturally, anybody who's not well, in distress, is upsetting the fact that they've got to that stage. If I was to deal with any incident and I didn't think of all those passengers that are using our network, then I think it'd be a poor day, wouldn't it? Right. We'll see you later, and thank you very much. Smashing. Come on, Rob, 2 for 150. Rob, 2 for 150. Come on, everybody. Do you reckon I could get a job? Yeah. 2 for 150, is that right?
By the end of the working week, driver Joe's driven nearly 500 miles, carried over 6,000 passengers, and can't wait for the weekend.
Some say the devil is dead, the devil is dead, the devil is dead. Some say the devil is dead and buried in Killarney. When I'm on my own, I'll be singing songs to myself, and I'm pretty sure the customers can hear me. The wife, she has a hairy ting, a hairy ting, a hairy ting. The wife, she has a hairy ting. It's very nice of them not to say anything. One day I'm waiting for someone to come and kick the door, like, shut up, you sound like someone's standing on a cat's tail. I do love my job. I've had customers that would come up to me and knock on the door and they'd go, thanks very much, that's a really good journey. And it really makes your day because you just think nobody notices. I think London is the kind of place where everybody from everywhere comes here at some point, like to work or to visit or whatever. And it takes all sorts of people to make up the world. You've got people from all different cultures and ages and races and mental stability. Do you know what I think? I reckon on this job, you see so much of it that you just kind of become immune to it and you don't even really notice it anymore. But the first time you see it, like the first time I got flashed on a platform by a woman, lifted up her top and flashed at me. First time that happened, I remember thinking, holy shit, oh my God, what else is going to happen on this job? But like if it was to happen now, you'd probably just go, oh, she's getting her tits out.
It's almost the end of the working week.
Yeah, I'm just by escalator 7 at the moment. I'll just head round to the
At
lift.
Bank, Eamon and Ian have nearly finished their shift.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your very last train on the westbound. All aboard, please. That's you as well, please, sir.
Happy?
That's you. Come on. Jump in there, all right? Mind the gap, mind the gap, mind the step, mind the doors.
Can you just... We just actually...
But before they can close the station, they have to deal with a special type of customer.
If you just go through the other ticket barrier, please, yeah? Just go through the other barrier. That's a bit of a problem we get sometimes. People turn up late and just let themselves in.
No more trains on the westbound. No more trains over there. Finished. It's got to be a bus.
I think we've got it closed now. We're just closing this ticket.
Yeah, no more coming up except me. I'm on my way up now.
That's good to hear. You will be a joy to behold, over. I think we've finally managed to close this gate,
No one shall pass.
Well, we hope. Famous last words.
Next time on The Tube. It's the busiest and toughest shift of the year.
Absolute chaos. That is what's happening.
The whole network is on high alert.
There is some activity going on. There is a concern.
As the staff are put to the ultimate test.
We want to know the condition of the person and whether it's been declared suspicious or not. Just walking to the front of the train where this incident is.
That's news same time next week on the Tube going underground. Next tonight, the temperature plummets as Dr. Freeze makes an unholy alliance. New season Gotham, Wrath of the Villains continues here on Channel 5.